So
Yeah.
what's going on with SaaS stocks? Do you want to go over that? And I'll
Yeah.
chime in as
So
we go. Yeah.
I would say, what did you call it? SaaSmageddon or whatever. I called
SaaS
it
Mageddon. I've seen a few
Black
different,
Tuesday.
yeah, Black
Yeah,
Tuesday. There's a few different things.
it was a pretty ugly day yesterday for a lot of software as a service stocks. And I mean, it's not just yesterday. Like a lot of these companies have been getting, I mean, you can just say wrecked for the better part of six
Oh yeah,
months. Some of
yeah.
them have been even longer. So what ended up happening yesterday is Claude came out with a legal plugin that you can put into their LLM. For website owners, it's kind of similar to something like WordPress. You have the core website, and then you can kind of buy or design plugins. So effectively, you plug them into whatever your LLM or your website. It adds features, enhancements, stuff like this. What you would do with Claude is you would plug in this legal plugin, and it would give you access to data that you can surf for, say, a paralegal or any sort of thing like that that can make it faster. And it kind of rocked the software world, especially those with large legal exposure. So the first stock that immediately comes to mind would be Thomson Reuters, because I mean, if you think of their stocks, big three, it's legal, it's accounting, and it's kind of corporate governance, like all that type of stuff.
So Thomson Reuters, the
Yeah.
one you were talking about, is down 53% in the last 6 months.
Yeah, and if you're thinking like companies like Moody's or SPGI, like what do they have to do with this? We'll get to that in a second. But Thomson Reuters, like this is a low beta stock. So it has a beta, it has a 5-year beta, which would be pretty much the way it moves with the market of 0.3. So, I mean, quickest way to explain this, when the TSX drops 1%, Thomson Reuters would drop around 0.3 on average. So 50 plus percent decline on a blue chip low beta stock is like unheard of, unless there's massive news, and this would pretty much be it. So Thomson Reuters, the bulk of its money is made by selling subscriptions to, say, these law firms. So the idea that they can get access to this quicker, or they can take Claude's plugin, plug it into their LLM, and they can access Thomson Reuters data faster, say to the point where it doesn't take 5 paralegals to do so, it takes 1. Then you start to get into that seat issue, right, where they don't need as many seats to achieve the same thing. There was a ton of other stocks with legal focus yesterday that have massive drawdowns. I don't know what any of these companies do. I just know they kind of have a focus on law subscription-based types. So LexisNexis fell by 15%, Wolters Kluwer by 13%, Gartner IT by 21%. So I think what happened here is it sparked fears across the entire software. So yet again, Constellation lost 7%, Adobe 7.5%, Salesforce 7%. And there's even some fears like trickling into the e-commerce world, like Shopify got hit hard yesterday, 10% on the news. And I think what's really scaring people is how good Claude has gotten in such short order. So like Claude Code came out in February of 2025. It was amazing, but it was very hard for non-tech people to navigate. You effectively had to hook it to your computer, and it was like a command prompt that you would tell it, what to do in particular folders. Then you have Cowork that came out like, I think it was January 12th or something like that, where it's like desktop interface. You tell it what to do and it'll do it. Like you need no knowledge, whatever, of terminal access to your computer or anything. And then like 3 weeks later, you get this legal plugin. And I mean, when we look to the credit agencies, like I had mentioned, like SPGI, Moody's, like they don't really have any exposure to this. But I think where the market is getting spooked is if your moat is related to data or information in any way, like collection, distribution, like leveraging, anything like that, the market just thinks your moat is toast. Like with these credit rating agencies, like the theory there is they have large moats because they got to go through a monumental amount of documents to assign you a credit rating or something. So what's to say, AI can't do this much faster? So I think that's where like a lot of the fear is coming through from the ratings companies. If you don't need, junior analysts to kind of analyze credit ratings, and instead you can just use Claude to do it, but not necessarily Claude.